Alrighty, here we go on our Bushcraft 101, a field guide to the art of wilderness survival by Dave Canterbury. This is a review of Chapter 2, and it's all about tools. So, Dave Canterbury says, and this is well known, that quality and well-maintained tools can mean the difference between an enjoyable, comfortable, and an unnecessary or even dangerous venture into the bush. Remember that the cutting tools are one of the 5 C's. Caring for your tools is also a crucial skill set to acquire, according to Dave Canterbury, and anyone who is experienced with tools, they need to learn to use them. I love my knife. This knife here, I put it on my belt and stuff, along with a few other things that I can carry. But one thing to keep in mind is that many knives are coated with some type of chemical that keeps the blades from rusting. So if you're going to use those blades to start a fire with, just know that it won't. Okay, this part right here, the triangle of death, is very important. You want to make sure that you do not cut yourself or cut anybody else for that matter. But Dave Canterbury goes on in his book to explain this in more detail. And I've used it because there's been a time or two where I almost cut my leg. But, you want to pay very close attention to this. Now, with having a sharp knife, if you run out of something, you can always cut it. And these basic notches, which is really cool that he has in this Bushcraft 101, is that he shows you how to do the stake point and your basic notch, your ball notch, your cabin notch, your V notch, things like that. And there's been plenty of times that I've used this, okay? Now, what we're going to get to here is some of the things that go in my truck. See, there at the bottom in the middle is my belt. And that belt holds a lot of stuff. And some of these things go in my truck because it's a bug-out truck. Jolene is. But, sometimes I'll have gloves in there in my bug-out bag. I've got extra things that sometimes I'll carry, sometimes I won't. It depends, but, I've got my little shovel, extra stakes. Now, you want to think about weight on your bug out bag, and that's why some of this stuff is not in there. For the simple fact being is I carry it in my truck, and if I need it, it's readily available inside my truck. Usually everything is in there. I've always got a pair of bolt cutters. I've got a larger pair. You just never can tell. And 2, they make a good weapon if you needed to protect yourself, because those babies are pretty heavy and they do put a dent in your head. Of course, you see my crossbow there, and some more, the stakes, and my machete is there as well. I'll carry a machete with me. And a big old Bowie knife as well, usually on my leg, Now, this is all before my back injury, but, there's a variety of a few things that can go on your belt. And they're tools that I've used in the past, and some of them I haven't had a chance to use yet because, I hurt my back. But there's my Bowie knife right there. I love that thing. That thing will stick you from today to tomorrow. And it will get somebody up off of you. Just saying. There's my handy dandy belt. I got this belt because it had the hole grommets in it. And I could latch stuff onto the belt if need be. Okay, now this next part is important. Simply because you need to know your trees when you're out there in the bush. What kind of trees are soft, and, making those notches with. So all this is relevant. So you need to get to know your horticulture and your botany. Now, this next set of books that comes up, these are quite expensive, but I tell you what, they are well worth it. It tells you everything you need to know, what's poisonous, what's not, with a color guide. And once again, we're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it, 'cause I'm going out in the bush and you're gonna have to catch me first.